All right. I'm here with Mantas Brazauskis to have the interview for the team of Lithuania. You can watch my video of the Lithuanian team. And now we have the interview for the Lithuanian team who will compete in Tokyo 2021 in a few days. And yeah, we talk here with Mantas Brazauskis. Mantas, at first, welcome and thanks for joining us. And my first question I have is how your preparations for the Paralympic Games goes.
Now our preparations are very wet now in a tropic weather time in Lithuania, and we had a hard work in the gym. Of our preparation is still going.
Okay, yeah. My next question is how your preparations changed because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
This pandemic declined a lot of tournaments. So I think not only our team, but other teams in the other countries also didn't have a lot of tournaments to check our shape. But thank God we had some tournaments, and we will have another tournament in Vilnius in this month. And German also visit us, as I remember well, in the Lions Vito, the great tournament.
Yeah. My next question is also in this topic. What's your opinion about that the Paralympic Games were postponed for this year, in this year? Do you feel it as, yeah, I'm glad that they postponed the games because we have one extra year, or do you mean that's a disadvantage to have this extra year because you planned with playing the Paralympic Games in the last year?
My opinion is that better to postpone the tournament like this than cancel it. So we're glad to have a chance to compete in the Tokyo Paralympics, and this Paralympics will be held and it will happen. So yes, we had an extra year to prepare, an extra year to make trainings. For this extra year, we also had some tournaments. So I think it may be more safe competition in Tokyo than it would be in last year by COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay, yeah. We come to another topic. The topic, which goals do you have as Team Lithuania for the Paralympic Games? You are the defending champion. Do you have the goal to defend the title, or what's your goals for the Paralympic Games in Tokyo as Team Lithuania?
Of course, our main goal is to defend our gold medals. We very want to do it, but we also are clever as a team, and we know that it will be really hard to do. We have the very strong group stage. Our group is very strong, you know, the 3 medalist teams in one group, so it means that we will have to hustle to make the quarterfinals, and this is a Paralympic game. We show the best it has to compete and to reach just step they can. So this Paralympic will be very hard. So another team, and every team wants to make a gold medals, and also want to reach the gold the second time and defend our champion title.
Yeah, you said it. In all 3 teams which medaled in 2016 are in one group. And yeah, and
in group A.
In group A, yeah,
Brazil and the US team. Yes, and the US team.
Yeah, the US team, your opponent in the final game, 2016, I remember. And yeah, okay, you said your goal is to defend the title. And yeah, another question in this topic, you said that's it. You only won one time the Paralympic Games in the history, 2016. And
yes,
in the other Paralympic Games, 2012 or 2008, you also were one of the top favorites. And I can tell that you are a nation that dominates the European goalball since 30 years. But in Paralympic Games, you never won the Paralympic game. You had to wait for over 20 years for the Paralympic title. And some players of your team, for example, Genrik, he played since 1991 and he won everything you can win, but the Paralympic title he never won. What was the reason in the past why you don't won the Paralympic title? You won 2 times the World Championship, 5 times the European Championship in the last years, but why don't the Paralympic title?
Like I said, the Paralympic Games is the strongest tournament in the 4-year road, and the strongest teams compete in Paralympic Games. In the Paralympic Games, it is so hard to reach the gold, and you need to work very hard. You need to be the best shape. Maybe not in 100%, but more in 100%. And every detail is important in Paralympic Games. So I think in the past time was maybe some details we couldn't do in a court, and why our history of Paralympic Games is like this.
Question I have is what goals do you have as person Mantas Brazauskis? Do you have goals you said you want to have? For example, you want to be the MVP at the Paralympic Games, or you want to be the top goal scorer? But yeah, that's topic I can explain. That's not likely that you want to be the top scorer because you don't throw as often. But do you have the ambition do you want to win the MVP title at the Paralympic Games, or do you have any goals where you say, as Mantas Brazauskis want to win this?
As Mantas Brazauskis, I would like to be the best version in my position in the Paralympic Games, to help the team reach the win after win, and to make step after step, and and in the final defend the gold medals. It may will not make me the tournament MVP, but I will be happy to know that I was the best version in the position I play to help my team to win the title.
Another question: which teams are your hardest opponents, in your opinion, to reach the Paralympic title?
In our group, I think there's the Brazil team, the US team, and other teams can go high by steps. The Turkey, I see the German, I see the Ukraine. It don't matter that the Ukraine will compete in the first time, but where they are so strong now, and they are deserved to climb the high in this tournament. Also, the owners and the host team, Japan, will want to show the best they can to their country, and I think they will play at home. So I think it will be hard to compete with them, against them.
Yeah, okay. You talked about the US, for example, as hardest opponent, and this way we should mention that you played in Trakai.
Yeah.
In May against the US, and you lost against the US. Are you now in a way afraid to play against the US because you knew the US beats you in the simple past?
It is just only the we can remember, but the future will be, I think, another game is another story. So when we meet in Tokyo, it will be another story, and I think it will be we will prepare, I think, to do everything to have another end of the match against each other, against the US team.
Yeah, and now I have only one question that's not especially about goalball and also not especially about sports in general. That's about the situation of the COVID pandemic, because for example, in other sports, for example, soccer, they allowed in the final games at the European Championship 65,000 spectators in the Wembley. And at the Olympic Games, they play without spectators. And on Paralympic Games, we don't know, but it's very likely that they also play without spectators. What's your opinion about that? Would you mean that can't be, that in soccer they allowed so many spectators and in goalball not, and in general not in Paralympic and Olympic Games? Or do you mean, yeah, I can understand that because in Japan it's another situation, like in England, because of the vaccination in England? Or yeah, what's your opinion at first about the double standard in a way, and at second because of the people?
As I know, in the Tokyo, the cases of COVID-19 going bigger every day. So if the country wants to save our citizen and this is the main reason, I think, not to allow them to go to the stadiums, to the courts, to watch the Olympic and Paralympic Games. Despite it, it is for me it is sad that we will play without the spectators, because playing with spectators is another atmosphere, as I remember from the Rio 2016. I remember that I never played with all spectators, maybe 8,000 spectators watching. So it was very well to have this experience. And for me, I like to play when the spectators watching the most. I think, as I said, it will be sad to play without spectators, but people must be saved from this virus. So if the country and the government says make the games without spectators, I think this is normal, and the people must be safe.
I would mean every sports athlete agrees with you when you say with spectators is better than without spectators. But what makes that with you as player to play without spectators? Are you not motivated because and no one is there? I have to play like in a training camp, or do you say that doesn't matter for me?
We are professionals, so we need to understand that the time is what it is, and we need to focus on our job and our goals in this tournament. The most we need to focus on is to play the best in the tournament, to reach the goal the second time in a row. So I think a lot of people in the world will watch or will read the news, will watch maybe videos if the organizers will show the highlights maybe or full games. So it will be enough, I think, now at this time. The people will see what's happening, and people will support the teams. We and another thing is that we will have a little bit less noise in the court, so because spectators sometimes like to talk each other very not loudly, but if you're concentrate, if you hear the noise, so you can sometimes make a mistake in defense. So without the spectators, we maybe hear the opponents better, how they moving, what they talking, what they want to do in offense.
I can understand that. I can remember on the European Championship 2019 in Rostock, that was also very noisy. For example, if a ball is lost of you and you want to save that, you can't because the people screamed and you don't hear the ball.
No, but I liked the atmosphere. I remember this atmosphere in 2019 Rostock European, and how the spectators was supported the host team. So in every country, every human, every spectator must support the host team like that. This is a good example.
Yeah, if I can remember on other European championships, like for example 2017, there was 10 spectators in the hall, and also in 2015 in Lithuania, in Eurogames when Lithuania played, the hall was very full, but in the other games, yeah, not as well. And yeah, that's it's clear that you as the host team want to have the support. And for the other teams, it's terrible because everyone cheers against you. But yeah, another question, because we talk about the European Championship 2019, I want to discuss with you the deciding moment of the semi-final game between you and Germany. In the overtime, you got a delay of game penalty against you, against Lithuania, and you had to defend the penalty in the overtime. And please tell us at first what was the reason for the penalty, and at second your opinion about that, because I can tell you my opinion. My opinion is also that I'm a German, but I think you can't win a game like that. And my wish would be that Germany had declined the penalty and said, we want to win in a clear way with scoring a goal in the game. And please tell us these two things. At first, we can talk at first, what was the reason for the penalty shot you get against you in the overtime of the European Championship 2019 against Germany?
If I remember well, the penalty was given. This delay of game was about. It was a lot of noise in the court. The spectator was cheering, supporting, music played loudly, and no one of us in the bench didn't hear the 90-second call. And I think we got the penalty because of we didn't join the court 3 players in time. Goalball, is a sport with a lot of rules that could make you to get a penalty. So my wish in the future to make that kind of rules less than it is now.
Yeah, and the other thing, because Germany took this penalty and because they know that the game is ended if they score the penalty. And what's your opinion? Would you also think you don't want to win in this way? They have to decline the penalty and play to score the goal in regular time to have a clear winner? Or what's your opinion about that?
My opinion is it is no reason to talk about why Germans did one or another thing. We made a mistake. The thing which is not allowed by the rules, and we were punished. It's maybe in overtime for spectator, maybe more interesting to watch than the teams fighting without the penalties. No, but it isn't. And I think I had a chance maybe to take that penalty, but I chose the wrong side. So the Germans, I think that they must do if we want to win the game. And I didn't make the best to make that game go on.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that was interesting for me to know that. Because of that, I discussed that with you. Because, for example, at the semi-final of the European Championship in soccer, England against Denmark, they also all said, yeah, you can't win this way. The way England won was not good. If I would be in this situation, I would mean, no, that doesn't feel like a clear win. I would ask myself if I have the opportunity to win without the penalty. So yeah, that was interesting. And yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to talk with you. And
how can I call it podcast? Yeah, it was very interesting to discuss in some question with you, and this way what I'm doing is very good for me and for others who will see it, will watch this video, and will know more about our sport, because goalball as a sport is unique, and it always needs to make that everyone would know it. So you do the very good job, and my wish to you is keep going.
thank you. Thank you. And yeah, now we are at the end, and I can tell you that I wish you and the whole team Lithuania all the best for the Paralympic Games, that you reached your goal to defend the Paralympic title of 2016. And we will see how the Paralympic Games will run. And yeah, that was the end. It was a pleasure for me talking with you. You can watch my next video at the next time. I'm looking forward to seeing you, and take care and goodbye.
Goodbye.